Full of hot air. FOHO stands for full of hot air. I don't know if it does. I just used it today as a title for a video that I was talking about for the idiom full of hot air. Full of hot air, of course, is from the 1800s. Mark Twain's attributed with using it first in writing, but it's been around for a long time. When people breathe out, we tend to breathe out hot air. So somebody who's full of it, full of, I guess, just kind of full of it in general, they spew out information and things as if they're an expert in something when they're probably not. They might be pompous or vain or professor-like or know-it-alls. Right? Oh, I didn't even think of know-it-alls. Know-it-alls tend to be full of hot air, right? They know everything. Nobody can tell them anything or teach them anything because they're full of hot air. I like this expression. I like this idiom. I think sometimes I'm not trying to be, but I come off as, oh, I'm full of hot air. I'm full of it. But really, I'm just talking about stuff that I like to talk about, stuff that I have learned, lessons that I learned that, oh my God, I hope that I can help other people shortcut their process of whatever it is they're trying to do, be, or have, because they don't make the stupid mistakes that I've made in my life. Because some of the roads that I've gone down are just plain silly, stupid, dumb, and I probably knew better if I would have checked in with my brain, my heart, and my intuition, but I was ignoring one or all of the above and just going down a certain road that I thought for some reason was right at the time, but turned out to be absolutely positively ridiculous. And maybe not ridiculous for other people, but absolutely positively ridiculous for me. So full of hot air was our idiom today for Supersize Your Business. I'm kind of running out of steam. Some days yes, some days no on the whole doing an idiom a day. I started it as part of my moving process. When I was moving, I knew I needed to have something I could talk about every day for my Supersize Your Business folks. And I thought, well, what better way than instead of having a word of the day, let's have an idiom of the day, because idioms are words put together that mean something different when they're together than when they're apart, right? Full means something different of hot air. I guess I'm not going to use today's, but full of hot air, and idioms tend to mean something different when they're used together than they mean when the words are taken individually. So I thought, well, that would be fun, and I started doing it. I guess today was day 562 since I started counting, and I didn't start counting right off the bat. It's like everything else. I started doing something and I'm kind of testing the waters of it, and does it feel right, and do I want to do it, and do I feel like I'm going down the right road? And it was easy to do. It was kind of fun. It's actually kind of fun every day to pick an idiom, and I'm just picking them randomly from a book I found of the kids when I was moving to I bought them when they were in junior high that they never used. It's a book of idioms, and there are 600 in the book. So I'm getting to the end of the book. So it's really interesting. As I randomly picked them throughout the days, I just would pick whichever one felt right for me on any given day. Well, now I'm getting to the point where I have to sort through to find the ones I haven't used yet. And some of them are a huge stretch to figure out, well, how would you use them in your business? How would that apply to growing and supersizing and building a business, the business that you want to build for your life? And so some of those are fun, and it's getting harder and harder as I get to the end of the book. Now, I did a while back Google, and there are 20,000 English idioms that I can choose from. So I can stop or start doing this or not do this or discontinue it whenever I want. It doesn't really have anything to do with the book, but now I've kind of made a challenge for myself that I want to do every one in the book. And some of them just seem, it's like, well, how am I going to get that to work toward business? What does that even mean? How have I ever had any experience with that? A lot of the idioms I personally have never heard of before, or never had any experience with, or never heard anybody even use. And those are actually fun because I get to Google and research and find out the origin of them. And to me, it's just another way to learn, another way to personally grow and develop. And guess what? As we grow and develop our vocabulary, including idioms, we have access to more emotions. We have access to more things that we can call upon, more things we can relate to. We make more connections in our brain, which makes us better leaders, better humans, better individuals. So it's all about personal development. So full of hot air. I'm going to start saying FOHO when somebody leaves a mean comment on my social media posts, and then they're going to have to look it up. Before I do that today, or whenever I decide to do that, I'm going to have to actually Google FOHO in case it means something bad or obscene, and it will embarrass me. But otherwise, I'm thinking, hey, from now on, instead of, engaging in conversations I don't want to engage in. If somebody leaves something mean or hateful or silly on my posts, I might just say FOHO, meaning you're full of hot air, meaning I don't buy this, I don't believe you, I'm not buying into what you say. And I think sometimes we want to do that. We want to just say, no, cancel. This doesn't apply to me. And not the cancel culture crap. I can't stand that. I hear what you're saying, but this does not apply to me. It's like when somebody calls me a name or accuses me of being something that I absolutely positively know I'm not, it just bounces right off. It's because I know I'm not that, so I'm not going to accept that. I'm not even going to entertain the doubt that I might have ever behaved that way, because it's ridiculous. It's like there's so much name calling and nonsense going on. It seems like every 4 years, whenever there's a political campaign, the ability of people to think for themselves and behave in human ways, and for some reason social media has amplified this, just like email amplified it, at least in corporate America. People think they can say things in writing that don't have consequences, that aren't hurtful, and it's such a silly, limited belief that it's mind-blowing. I mean, what you say matters. What you say, what you write, what you do, how you behave, guess what? It says everything about you and nothing about the person that you're attacking. The fact that you would attack someone says a lot about what kind of a person you are. It doesn't say anything about the person that you're attacking. So you're having absolutely the exact opposite effect that you want to have by attacking the person in the first place than the effect that you want to have. You want to attack a person because you think they're wrong and you want to beat them up and make them look bad, but all it does is make you look bad. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but come on, people. Let's start remembering that we show the world exactly who we are all of the time, whether we know we're doing it or not. Today's fun challenge was about, I don't even remember. I'm going to have to look. It was about something forbidden, doing things that are forbidden. What is something that we want to do that we've been forbidden to do? Now, keep in mind, this journal that I'm using for the 365-day fun challenge turns out was for 6 to 9-year-olds. I didn't realize that when I got the book. One of the drawbacks of being visually challenged is that you miss very important key factors and things like that. Not that it matters, because guess what? I think underneath it all, we're all still in some ways 6 to 9-year-olds, and so it can relate. So forbidden things, what's forbidden to me now is very different than I would answer that as a 6 to 9-year-old. But what is something fun that's forbidden? How fun is that, right? I would think there's not very many things that as a 60-year-old woman I don't have permission to do. I pretty much give myself permission to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with whomever I want, wearing whatever I want. It's pretty much the whole pajama grandma persona, and me is me saying, screw off, rest of the world. It's my time. I get to do what I want as long as it's not hurting anyone else, right? I absolutely positively believe that each and every one of us has the right to be ourselves and uniquely be ourselves, but it doesn't give us the right to hurt anybody else. We get to become what it is we want to become, but that doesn't mean we can harm anyone else along the way. Now, maybe that's just my beliefs and my values, but I'm like, there's plenty to go around. We can all do, be, and have whatever we want, and it doesn't involve taking or hurting or harming or competing against anyone else on the planet. I'm sure that'll cause some controversy too, because we've all been led and bred to believe that life is one big competition. There's just limited pie, and we better scrape out and carve out and step on other people and squash them and destroy them and hurt them in order to get what we want, in order to cover our own ass. I just had a huge example of that with someone in my life that I love and care about yesterday, and I can't believe how it triggers me and angers me. Actually, it was about 3 different people just got creamed by situations that other people deliberately set up to cause them harm. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand that kind of behavior, that kind of horrible performance. Why would you go out of your way? And I've had it happen to me. I've had people go out of their way to cause me harm, and I'm like, I don't get it. And it's people that I've helped to step up in life and do more in life and be more and get more and have more than they would have ever had otherwise, but they've gone out of their way then to turn around and try to destroy me. And I'm like, it hasn't worked. If death didn't get me, then you're certainly not going to. So, fun challenge today. Get up and go challenge. Supersize your business. We talked about that. Get Up and Go Challenge. September, this month, I'm doing a daily lesson learned. What have I learned in my life in my 60 years of experience in weird, different situations, both corporate, business, not necessarily just business, but tied to getting up and going, keeping moving no matter what, making sure that you're better off after. And I really started it during the pandemic. Beginning of the pandemic, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? And then if I'm going to do something to help me, what can I do to help other people as well and bring them with me? So that was the first Get Up and Go challenge. And this will be the fourth, the fourth 30 day, April, June, July, August. Yep, this will be the fourth 30-day plus Get Up and Go challenge, where we're going to talk about and guarantee we install in you and reinforce in me the ability to ensure that we get results in days, that we are guaranteed to have better results after the challenge or after the change or after the pandemic than we had going into it before, because we absolutely positively can control that. Today's lesson for Setup for Success was personal power equals control. Do you believe that your personal power equals the amount of control you have in any given situation? I guess I should have asked that. That's a pretty good question. That was the topic of Setup for Success today, which is available, of course, in the Get Up and Go Challenge page or the Get Up and Go Challenge group. October 31st through 31st, we are doing the next 30-plus day Get Up and Go Challenge. Would love to have you join me there. It's going to be, I'm going through the past challenges very slowly right now, and I realize it's the 15th, so I better hurry up about it, to see what did I cover, what did we talk about, what have we done that is really, really powerful that I want to make sure we do in this 30-day challenge, and then what have we done in the past 30-day challenges that were like, nah, that wasn't that great. Maybe that's something that we just leave aside. And if somebody's curious and wants some more information about that, they can go back to the previous challenges, because my challenges are always up, right? I don't do this disappearing information crap. I think it's a marketing ploy, and I hate it. I hate the stuff that people online do just for the sake of creating scarcity and lack in people's minds. Drives me freaking nuts. All right, that's it. That's all I've got today. I'm working on my book. I'm writing a book that I have to spend at least 20 minutes a day on, because I committed to getting the thing done. I actually thought I would do it at the beginning of COVID, but then I got to hang out with my amazing granddaughter instead. And now, since she's in school and I'm missing her dearly, I'm actually getting the book done. I'm writing it, getting it done. And I'm not really writing it. I'm just getting the things down that I can. And then I've, of course, given my vision, I have to get somebody else to help me and edit and do it and do all this stuff and help with it. But I want to get at least the ideas and things down, so that I know what the key components are of the book. Anyway, that's it. That's all I've got today. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with another summary of what am I doing now as I transition from the brick and mortar and corporate world of business to the online world of business. Have an absolutely amazing day. I will be with you tomorrow.